And thank you for watching another live edition of the East West Football Podcast. I am Fidel Barraza. Alongside with me tonight, Kendall Whitley. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I mean, these playoffs been great. It's a divisional round. We got a lot of games coming up this coming weekend with the championship weekend. I'm ready to roll, man. It's been some good playoff football, man. It really has.
Yep. So it is. We're close to Championship Sunday in the NFL. Both matchups, and of course in the AFC, we got the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Kansas City Chiefs, and the 49ers visiting the Eagles in the NFC. But I want to recap really quick what happened last weekend. So let's start off with the early game between Kansas City and Jacksonville. Kansas City looked like they were going to get off to an amazing start. Patrick Mahomes rolls his ankle. He's out for a little bit. Chad Henne comes in, but it looks like the offense has no issues. He goes 98 yards and scores a touchdown. Mahomes did come back in the game later on, but you could see he was struggling.
Yeah, that injury really did hurt. It was let's say it was a high ankle sprain, I think it is. But you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna get him some meds all week. They're gonna keep him up, whatnot. But he wasn't really the same the rest of the game. He was kind of favoring a little bit. Jacksonville just didn't take advantage of it. I mean, I'm surprised. Like anytime Chad Henne had the ball, I think look was it like a 96-yard drive or
98,
something like that. Yeah,
98 yards.
98-yard drive. That was crazy, man. That was Jacksonville time to take advantage of that situation of the injury from Mahomes. Um, and they just couldn't. I thought they were going to send some more rushes at him or something like that, kind of get him off his spot. They just didn't do it or whatnot, and that was crazy. But he got it. Mahomes kind of got it going with a touchdown drive late in the game, and that was basically it. I think the thing about the game was Jacksonville just couldn't take advantage of the mistake. They had a bunch of opportunities, drop picks, drop balls. You couldn't even get the field on third down for a while, so it was a mess. Jacksonville. I still think Jacksonville was a year they peaked too early. Maybe next year they can come back and they can do something. But this game here is all about Kansas City, man. It's all about Kansas City, and I know we get to this game in a minute. If they have the same mistakes, they do these same things against Cincinnati, we're going to talk about Cincinnati going back to the Super Bowl, and this game's not going to be close. They can't do that against the Bengals. The Jacksonville Jaguars, you can get away with it because they're inexperienced, haven't been there a lot. But the Bengals, they won't be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that was the biggest difference is the experience factor. And then Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he looked a little rattled to begin the game. But
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville had their opportunities, right? They
They
just
did.
couldn't capitalize. And I mean, obviously, look, the right team, I think, won at the end, and that was Kansas City. But obviously, that Mahomes injury is, it's very important. I mean, I don't know if he practiced at all, but I know that he looked fine during a walkthrough. But again,
Mm-hmm.
that's a walkthrough, not an actual practice. So, and look, everyone saw it. The Bengals know he's injured, so I mean, you can rest assured that they're going to try to pressure him.
Yeah, they is. Bengals they're coming after them, and the Bengals have owned this matchup the past year or so. They what is it, they're 3-0 against the Kansas City
Three
Chiefs.
zero.
Rather it's in KC, or I know two of those games have been in Cincinnati, but this one is a rematch of the AFC Championship game from last year. They're back in Kansas City. They just match up perfect with them. They can score with them. They switch up their defense in the second half. They great adjusting. And the Chiefs just they haven't been able to do it. But you got to think at some point. Patrick Mahomes injury, this Chiefs team, they're going to figure that at some point. I didn't think they'd be able to win three straight and get a 3-0 this year. I didn't think they'd be able to do that. But you have to think at some point they're going to get it figured out. Will it be this Sunday? We don't know. Probably get to the predictions in a minute. But I mean, you got to think at some point they're going to figure it out. But this Bengals team, they're playing some good ball, man.
Yeah, and we'll get to that matchup here in a few minutes. But let's talk about the second game on Saturday, and that was between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Football Giants. Honestly, this game was over at halftime. Eagles went up 28-0 and really never looked back.
It was a mess. It was a blowout. I thought the Giants would be a little more competitive in this game here, but it was a blowout from the start. I mean, I didn't think Philly would do them like that. I really didn't, and it was crazy. I don't even have a lot to say about this game here because I was shocked. I thought third time, we always say you can't beat it's tough to beat a team three straight times in the same season. But Philly, they proved us wrong. And like I said, San Francisco, they proved us wrong a couple weeks ago when they beat Seattle. So Daniel Jones turned back into Daniel Jones. I know they probably give him a contract after the season, him and Saquon. But Philly looked good, man, home. We already know how that stadium can get rocking there.
Yeah, and I mean the key with this team, and look, everybody was saying like, let's see how Jalen Hurts play. Well, he looked pretty damn good to me out there. He did not look injured at all.
They
I
say he
know
was
they're
far
playing.
from 100%, but he looked good to me.
He look 100% to me. Imagine how he's going to be on
Yeah,
Sunday when he play against the Niners. So I like the Giants. A nice story. Obviously, Brian Daboll made a huge difference being there in New York. And speaking of Brian Daboll, let's talk about his former team, the Buffalo Bills. Look, I had picked the Bills to win everything early in the year. I was expecting them to beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and of course, this was a rematch from Week 17 when the whole Damar Hamlin situation happened. And they
yep.
had to kind of cancel the game essentially, and that's the reason why the game was in Buffalo. Well, the NFL had sold tickets to a neutral site AFC Championship game in Atlanta, and they had put out there that they had sold over 50,000 tickets already. Well, the Bengals had different plans for the AFC
Rubbed them the
Championship game.
wrong way.
Yes, it did. And look, the Bengals, they got off to a hot start. I mean, I think Joe, only had like two incompletions in the first half. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, great start to the game, and also that running game. And it was snowing in Buffalo, and then the Bengals and those white jerseys. I mean, they were just playing good, man, and just the Buffalo Bills couldn't get anything going. And Josh Allen only threw for 6 yards in the first quarter.
I thought when Hamlin been there and the way that game started and ended a few weeks ago on Monday Night Football, I thought that was going to be it for the Bills to kind of get them up for this game and just kind of like seal it. Like I thought they would win it going away, but you still got to lace them up and play, man. And the Bengals came in, they were rugged the wrong way from what the NFL did with the seeding and stuff like that. And the Bengals, they came in and they got it done and whatnot. And they mishandled the game. Wasn't as close as the final score. They like just it was a mismatch from the start. Jamar Chase wide open for a couple passes and whatnot. He scored a touchdown. T. Higgins got it going. Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst. They got the running. Joe Mixon, they believe had over 100 yards. They got the running game going. And that Bengals defense is good. And we all always talk about Burrow and the offensive weapons. That Bengals defense is good. Coach Aurelia Mia, Gino, whatnot, I think that's his name. I know I butchered his name. He has that team going good. And I like how they make second half adjustments. They show you one thing in the first half, second half they show you something else. And that's probably what they're gonna do this week against Kansas City Mahomes and Coach Andy Reid. But they disrupted the Bills on offense, whatnot. Stephon Diggs, he had a big blowout, a blow up on the sideline and whatnot. It was bad and whatnot. He's had a lot of stuff going on this week on Twitter, going back and forth. But the Bengals they came in there, they they did what they were supposed to do, man. They have their business. Now they going to Arrowhead.
Yeah, an incredible run for Joe Burrow. I mean, obviously, rookie campaign came short because of an ACL injury. Coming back last year, taking this team to the Super Bowl, he's going to his second straight AFC Championship game. So, congratulations to the
I
Cincinnati
think the
Bengals.
Bengals. I don't know if a lot of y'all are basketball fans. I think the Bengals are the Memphis Grizzlies of the of the NFL. They talk a lot of trash. You know how the Grizzlies they go back and forth and stuff. The Bengals they remind me of the Memphis Grizzlies. They've been talking. We've never heard the Bengals talk so much trash the past couple of years since they've been down.
Hey, well,
So it's like,
speaking of the Grizzlies, they're 0-4 since Shannon Sharp got into it with them
yeah,
on the Lakers' home court. So
that was crazy.
that shit's crazy. But anywho, yeah, I mean, look, it's just this Bengals team. I mean, everybody just say, hey, all right, hey, Buffalo's going to the AFC Championship game, and they're going to play against the
And they
Chiefs.
don't have the stars on defense. You know, they got Hendrickson and Hubbard, but you got Mike Hilton. You got Awuzie, he got hurt. Eli Apple. Just they don't have the big name star, but that group of guys play real good. And that's why they've been winning these games. When they get after the quarterback, they disguise their pressures, they create turnovers, and they get the ball back to their offense, man. This Bengals team looks real good, and they got the beauty because the quarterback is on a rookie contract. So they don't got to spend a lot. They're not paying nobody right now. Mixon's on a rookie contract. They ain't got to pay Chase. I mean, not Mixon, but Burrow is on a rookie deal. They ain't got to pay Chase right now. They got to pay Higgins coming up year after next. So it's crazy, man. They taking advantage of it, of the quarterback on a rookie deal, and they built a good team around the quarterback.
Yeah, and then let's talk about the second game on Sunday. Dallas Cowboys visiting the San Francisco 49ers. A very physical game. To me, this game turned when Tony Pollard got hurt right before the first half ended.
I believe I the only one who went with the Niners. And I try to tell y'all, this 49er team just feels different. It's a great story with Brock Purdy, then Mr. Irrelevant, been the last quarterback pick in the 2022 draft. He didn't have to do much. He didn't play great, but he did just enough. He got George Kittle. He made, I think, the play
He,
the play of
look,
the game
hey,
or whatnot.
Kendall. Essentially, that catch that he made when he hit the helmet, bobble, on
That
his
was a
hand.
play of the game. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
that
play of
was
the
a play of the
game.
game. But also Dallas couldn't capitalize on Purdy's mistakes that he had made. Essentially, they dropped a couple of
Well,
interceptions.
yeah, they couldn't, but that 49ers defense played a large part in that too.
It
It
did,
played a
but to
large
me,
part.
honestly, after Tony Pollard went down, that the whole game changed to me. At least when I was watching, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, look, and I knew as soon as that they placed him on the air cast, I believe on the ankle. I was like, well, it's broken. It's not going
Done.
to come
It's
back.
done. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, that really,
essentially he got rolled up almost like Patrick Mahomes did
yeah.
on Saturday. It's just Tony obviously a little bit worse.
It changed the trajectory of the game. It really did. And I think that's a large part of the reason why Dallas lost or whatnot. But then Dak Prescott didn't help with the two interceptions. It could have been a third interception. It could have been more interceptions. He played bad. I don't even know his numbers right now. He had two picks and a touchdown, but CeeDee Lamb did have about 10 catches for over 100 yards, but that was it. Michael Gallup was a no-show. Dalton Schultz did a little bit. This might be his final year down there in Dallas. He didn't do much. The 49ers dominated. They just dominated the game.
And that last play of the game, I know you need a miracle essentially to win the game, but I just didn't understand the formation. They kind of reminded me when it was Indianapolis. It was Sunday Night Football. I forget who they played
Against
against.
the Patriots,
Against the
and especially,
Patriots.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, do you care to, what do you think of that formation or what they were trying to accomplish?
Well, if that was Ezekiel Elliott's last play as a Cowboy, that's a tough way to go out. First and foremost. But yeah, they needed something. But dang, man, I think they'd have been better off just sending everybody down four verticals and just throwing a Hail Mary.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, hey, look, Cowboys, make it to the divisional round. Obviously, not the way that they wanted things to happen. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with this team going forward. But obviously, Dak did not do enough to get the Cowboys a victory.
Nope.
All right. Well, now let's go and preview the championship games on Sunday. So the early game is going to be San Francisco 49ers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. How do you see this matchup going?
I can't wait for this game. I cannot wait. It stars on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. You got A.J. Brown going up against Tavares Ward. You got the 49ers wide receivers with tight end George Kittle and Deebo Samuel. We're gonna really get to see what Brock Purdy's about this game. Because I think this is the first time he's played a really, like, Cowboys are a good team that made the playoffs, good defense. Offense got some question marks. But the Eagles got defense, they got a top 10 defense, they got a top 10 offense. Hurts probably MVP of the season, whatnot. Good offensive line stuff. We really gonna see what Purdy's about, and I think we gonna know early. Cause I don't think they're not gonna push around the Niners like they did to Giants. This ain't gonna be no blowout the first quarter. So I can't wait for this. I want to see what Brock Purdy has in store, and I really haven't had to give my final prediction of this
Come
game.
on, it's Thursday. Kendall, you got to get a score already.
I'm gonna go with the Niners. I'm going with the Niners in a close one because that defense.
Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why the Niners
I
are going
just
to win
think
this football
it's a
game.
special season, man. I think it's meant to be for Brock Purdy. I just think he's 7-0. It's meant to be it's meant to be. I just think something special about this team, man. I'm going with the Niners 26-21.
The key to the 49ers to win this game is to start off quick, scoring touchdowns, not field goals. This is going to be Brock Purdy's first road NFL playoff game, and it's just not any playoff game. This is to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I think the Eagles are too much of a good football team for the Niners to beat them. I know the Niners got a really great defense, and Brock Purdy, it's a nice story and all that. But I think just the Eagles, they have too much talent. I mean, offensively, defensively, I think they're just going to make things happen. I like the Eagles to win this football game. Score, I'm not too sure. Look, it's going to be very interesting. And we had talked about this. Brock Purdy being down in a big game. What did the Eagles get
We
off
haven't
to a
seen
hot
it.
start? 14-0.
We'll know quick.
We're
What
gonna know quick
Purdy's about.
how this kid's gonna do moving forward. But I mean, like, regardless if they win or lose, Brock Purdy, I see him being the quarterback for the 49ers going into next season as well.
And if they do lose, it's been a great season. I mean, I think if they lose, I don't think nobody at Carolina, because Brock Purdy's Mr. Relevant, the last quarterback. They're gonna be like, hey, they was on the third string quarterback. he won't expect it. He won't expect it to win to take us this far. But on the other hand, the Eagles, you're number one seed. You're supposed to win this game. Put the pressure on the Eagles.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're the Niners, you made it all the way this way,
Yeah,
this far.
yeah,
Why not win it?
yeah. I'm just saying, if they lose, it's not. I don't. It ain't the end of the world.
If they lose, and I think they will, it's going to be a mistake by Purdy. I think that's going to be the key to the game.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy or something like that. Saying he can play.
They haven't, and this is interesting. I was having a conversation with someone earlier, but I don't think he's cleared yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if the kid's struggling, you're down 14-0. It's a big game. What do? You
put him in.
keep the kid in there, or do you
They
put
him in.
Garoppolo in? If he's available, I don't know if he's going to be though.
Yeah, I haven't heard much on it.
Yeah, so but look, you got to ride with this kid. I mean, he got you this far, right? So
yeah,
we'll see. But you like the Niners, I like the Eagles. Now let's talk about the AFC Championship game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Who you got and why?
Oh, Bengals have won 3 in a row. I cannot see them. I couldn't see them winning that third one, man. But they did it. Mahomes I don't care what nobody say. He's not 100% healthy. He's not. I know how he looks in praise. He's a full participant and all that. He's not going to be healthy. I'm gonna go with the better team, and I'm going with the Bengals. I'm gonna go Bengals 27-24. Late field goal, won the Bengals 4th straight, and they going back to their 2nd straight Super Bowl. So a Bengals Niners Super Bowl is what I got.
Yeah, I got an Eagles Bengals Super Bowl matchup. I think just Patrick Mahomes being injured. I think it's going to be a difference in the game.
You don't think the fact that the Bengals been talking a lot and the fact that 3-0 against Mahomes and the Chiefs that played, you don't think it plays anything this week?
Well, I think it was the linebacker Willie Gay.
I saw that. Yeah,
you saw what he said, right?
The
reporter asked him what impressed him about the Bengals. He said nothing. Well,
he said nothing.
He's gonna be impressed this Sunday on the sidelines when you see.
Yeah.
When the Bengals.
I mean, the Bengals put out some bulletin board material saying Burrowhead. So.
Yeah, look, I think it's gonna be a great matchup, and we'll see Mahomes. I think it's gonna be too much for him to overcome. It kind of reminds me of the situation they were in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay.
Two teams, they don't like each other. Bengals just got more, I think, on offense. Mahomes makes what the Chiefs have on offense a little better. You take away Kelsey, then see what you got. You can't take away about this Bengals offense. Yeah.
So I mean, look, whatever matchup we get in the Super Bowl, it's going to be a good one, and we're looking forward to covering that as well. We did have some NFL head coaching news come out, so it looks like the Carolina Panthers have their new head coach, Frank Reich.
I think it's a great hire down to come for Frank Reich to come down here to Carolina for the Panthers. I've seen a lot of stuff. A lot of people are happy about the hire. I thought that it would probably be Sean Payton or maybe even Kellen Moore, but evidently it's not going to be that. But I think it's a great hire, Frank Reich, coming down here to coach the Carolina Panthers. And he's an offensive guy. They want to keep it offensive, and they got to get a quarterback. So I'm thinking maybe C.J. Stroud. I think they got a 9th pick, and I think that's what they're going to go. Panthers going to do. I think, like I said, I think it's a good hire. I think they're in good hands.
Interesting hire. I thought maybe
Frank. That's a good roster too, man.
Young, good roster, but I thought Frank Reich was maybe going to be out of the league for a year or maybe take a coordinator job. But he's right back at coaching an NFL team. To me, the biggest question, of course, is going to be the quarterback and what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. They drafted last year from Ole Miss, Matt Corral, but obviously he wasn't able to play the whole season. He got hurt during the preseason, and I believe it was against the Patriots. So, I mean, to me, it's just that's the biggest question mark on this team. What do you do with the quarterback situation moving forward?
Right.
And let's talk about Sean Payton real quick before we end today's show. So essentially, it's looking more than likely now that Sean Payton's going to return back to Fox Sports. He had a second interview with the Denver Broncos, but there was a report out there saying that he felt like there was going to be a power struggle between him and somebody else there with the ownership. Not too sure what that means or who he's referring to. And then obviously Carolina just hired Frank Reich. So where's Sean Payton end up going?
He did interview with the Cardinals, I believe. I think he has one scheduled. I think he interviewed with the Texans. Bronco, Dan Quinn, he just dropped that. He's going back to the Cowboys and whatnot. So he's not going to go there. I heard D'Amico Ryans could be going to Denver. So I don't know where Payton's going to go. I thought Denver, once they brought him in for the second interview, I thought, okay, boom, he's probably going to go there. But who knows? But I know most people are waiting on Sean Payton. Most people, if they're not the Panthers, they went ahead and took Frank Reich.
Yeah, and then of course we still have the Arizona Cardinals head coach position is open as well.
Yeah, that's another good job too.
Brian Flores has been, mentioned with that team as well. But the other thing that you got to think about is that Kyler Murray, he's going to be out for most of the year, probably till October, November. I mean, who's going to play quarterback for the Cardinals as well while he's out?
They do got a high on draft pick too. So I mean, maybe that should weigh into it or whatnot too. Maybe do you go quarterback, do you go offensive line?
But
What you
Kendall,
gonna
you
do
just
there?
paid this man. Like you just gave this kid a huge extension. Like
Yeah,
how?
but you want to win right now though. And Kyler Murray, I mean, anybody that comes in there, they want to win. And Kyler Murray's not going to be there probably to probably about midway through the season. And so, I mean, that's going to be good. They already talking about trading or cutting DeAndre Hopkins, or they rebuild. Like what they doing there?
Well, I mean, they said that Kyler Murray was going to have input on who the next Arizona Cardinals head coach was going to be. If you're a head coach or you're planning to be the head coach there, and you tell Kyler, "Hey, I'm going to draft the quarterback high," I don't think he's going to go for that.
Well, you see what the GM said. He's a former Patriot guy. He said nobody's going. The team is going to come first. They throwing all the egos out the door. So that's what he said. What the new GM said in the press conference. So I think Brian Flores is a good person for that job.
We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that.
Oh
But
yeah, for the Patriots, they did hire Bill O'Brien this week,
thank you.
offensive coordinator. That
Yes.
is huge. That's a big for Matt Jones' development. They connect a little bit at Alabama. He didn't coach him, but Matt Jones
But
helped him learn the
Mac,
playbook.
yeah, essentially helped him learn the Alabama playbook. So
He's excited about it for what I'm hearing.
yeah, so I mean that's good to have Bill O'Brien back in the NFL as well. Well, with that being said, that's going to tonight's show. Kendall, any final thoughts?
That's it, man. Hey, Georgia's championship weekend of football. We're gonna know who's in the Super Bowl come Sunday night.
All right, thank you everyone out there for watching and listening. We'll talk to you guys on Sunday for Super
Yes,
Bowl
sir.
or Championship Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Have a good night.